In this video, we're going to have a look at a rather odd rule that you don't really have to worry about as a player because it should be taken care of by the umpire, but we're going to have a look at something called the Infield Fly Rule. So the Infield Fly Rule is basically to stop the defensive team, the team that are fielding, from taking advantage of a quirk of fielding. So let's assume we have this situation here, okay? We have a runner on first and obviously a batter in the box. Now, if the batter hits the ball and it's what's called a pop-up, so a pop-up is where the ball comes quite high, but it's going to land somewhere in the infield. So clearly it's going to be caught by one of the infielders. Let's assume it's the shortstop in this instance. So if it pops up to shortstop, what's going to happen is the batter is going to run because it's a very short ball and they're going to try and get to first base. However, because this batter is running, this runner is now forced to go to second. But from the previous videos, we know the rules on tagging up. If this ball is caught, and it's highly likely that it will, this runner's now got to retreat back to first, and that throw could beat them back. So when I have a pop-up as a runner on first, I don't really want to go halfway because it's probably likely going to be caught. I might only go a third of the way, even a quarter of the way. However, if you have an inexperienced player, if the ball is popped up, they might go, you know what, I'm not going to run. I know it's going to be caught. However, an experienced player might then just let that ball drop or even bounce off their glove. If it bounces off their glove, it's a drop. That runner should then have to go to first, and the runner on first must go to second. So in this instance, if this batter gives up on the play and just goes, oh, I'm going to be out, I'm not going to run, then I would drop the ball. This runner would be forced to go to second, and we could have a 1-2 double play. So as a batter, no matter where you hit the ball, even if it pops straight up, you must run and get to first base. Even if there is another runner there, okay, if that is caught, you would be out as a batter and the runner would then be safe at first. If I so chose, if I was that clever, or the fielding team were that clever, if I knew that this runner was a particularly fast runner, I might actually choose to drop it. This runner then has to go to second, and then we get this runner out. So it's the same situation, okay? So there's still a runner on first, but this time it's the batter who's got there. This runner would then be out. So I can choose to get whoever out that I want to, okay? Usually it's a bit of sportsmanship, so generally you catch the ball if you then have to do it, okay? It's not something that you would probably do. However, what about if I had this situation here? So I have runners on first and second, okay? And I have a batter at first. In the previous situation, I'm only going to get one person out. I can either get the batter out by catching it, or if it's dropped, I then get the runner out on a race force play to second. However, if there are two runners and it is a pop-up, okay, these two base runners are in a quandary now. Do they run or do they stay? If it's a pop-up and it's going to be caught in the infield, if it is caught, then they have to return back to the base that they started from. But if they stay on the base that they started from and it is dropped, either by accident or on purpose, these two runners must then advance along their base. So, if these two runners choose to stay, as they should do, and the batter pops it up, if the fielder, the infielder, drops it on purpose, these two runners have now got to run. And the play then is to go to third to get the force out on this runner, and then back to second to get the force out on that runner. So in a single play, due to the pop-up, the infield could purposefully drop it to then get two runners out. So if the ball pops up, these stay close to the start again. These two runners stay close to the base. If it is caught, they then go back and the batter's out, and the fielding side only register one out. However, the fielding side could drop the ball on purpose. These two runners would have to advance to the base, and then you throw to third to get one out, and you throw back to second to get the second out. Now, because of this advantage, okay, and the fielding side sneakily dropping the ball to get 2 outs, that is not permitted within the rules of the sport. So if there are 2 runners on base, first and second, okay, doesn't occur when there's runners on first and third. So if you have forced runners on first and second, okay, so long as there are not 2 outs, because if there were 2 outs, catching the ball would be the third out and the side would be retired. If there is a pop-up in the infield, the umpire will call infield fly, and the infield fly rule will be in effect. And basically what that means is you are not given the opportunity as the fielding side to accidentally drop it, and then hence get 2 people out. So the umpire will call infield fly whilst the ball is in the air, the batter will be out, and the play will be called dead. So it doesn't matter whether you catch it or you drop it, it is assumed that the ball will be caught and the batter will be out. These 2 runners stay where they are. Even if they advance off the base, they'll be told to go back. So it stops the fielding side purposely dropping it and doing a double play 3-2. So the infield fly rule stops that. You don't have to worry too much about it. The umpire will call it. The only grey area is how far back does that pop-up need to be, and that is at the discretion of the umpire. So clearly, if it goes behind shortstop and they have to retreat a couple of steps, that would probably be called an infield fly. If it's going more into the outfield, then obviously that's not an infield fly rule. It's not a pop-up. It's more of a fly ball or a line drive, and the runners will then be expected to run. So that is the infield fly rule, and that is the rationale behind it.